Ladies and gentlemen, today I think we found the meanest motor coach in the world. We're here with Frank Koenigsegger from Liberty Coach. Always an honor. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Great, and was really impressed to see this 2026 Liberty Coach behind us, a really different look than some of the past Liberty Coaches.
Yeah, this one was, there was a lot of involvement here with the client. She and Kim and Dean were really in depth on this one, as well as her designers worked with Kim, so this came along pretty cool.
Now, one of the most common questions folks get out there is, what is the cost of a new Liberty Coach? I know this is pushing the highest level of the motor coach industry. What does one of these cost?
Oh, we're pushing in the $3 million range easy, yep, for sure.
Well, and then resale value on Liberty Coaches, even Liberty Coaches that are decades old, command more of a premium than any other motor coach in the industry. What is it about Liberty Coach that creates such a demand and such high resale value?
Well, I think when you look at, number one, how long we've been in business, over 54 years that we've been in business. We're the same family that started it. We still continue to operate it as well today. We're hands-on with it. Quality is a big driver to it, as well as the service that we do. So there's a lot that I think continues to build that image and that brand to get it to where it is today, to have the best on the resale value. We probably, without a doubt, have the most amount of repeat business, first generation, second generation customers as far as that goes as well. So there's a significant following to that. For an example, when you're here, the latest model coach that we have, which is not even here, it's up in Petoskey right now, is a 2021. We had a 24 in here for about 30 minutes really at the end of the day. So I mean, that stuff that we've got that's in the later year model equipment has been going really quickly. And I think the Liberty Coach brand is what takes it to that level.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that the owner of this coach has owned several other Liberty Coaches in the past and chooses to stay in the family.
Yeah, I think right now she actually has 3 of our coaches right now of different year model. There's a 2020 that's coming in that's already pre-sold on this coach. So this is the first one that she's actually done, you know, from soup to nuts, if you will, on the whole package.
Yeah, and I just met a gentleman in your showroom from Wisconsin that's having his 99 Liberty Coach serviced here. Does Liberty Coach still service pre-owned Liberty Coaches all the way back several decades?
Oh yeah, there's no question. Try and fit them in as best we can. You know, it depends. Sometimes parts are not available anymore, so we have to make modifications there, but we certainly do.
And then you also service coaches at your factory in North Chicago as well?
Right. The factory in North Chicago's primary purpose is production. So if we have a situation where we have a client coming through, they've got an emergency, we'll try and get them in as quick as we can as far as that goes. We do have not as many service personnel there to take care of it because we're mainly production oriented and trying to keep that production moving. We're still building like 12 units a year, so we're trying to maintain that level to do that. When you look at it as far as servicing older coaches or coaches that are out there, we hear it all the time that people wish if they didn't buy a coach from us that they wish they would have, because when they come in here for service, they see the attention to detail that we have, the knowledge that we have about how our coach, Liberty Coach, is put together and how it should be serviced. So we see that continually, and and it also backs us up a little bit too, because you have people that are trying to get in and scheduling appointments months out in advance because of that. So I think that speaks volumes as far as what we do as well.
Yes, so I'm really looking forward to seeing more of this new 9660 shell, and Liberty's converted quite a few of the new 9660s. How many of the new body style Prevost do you have on the road now?
This should be 22, I believe, as far as that goes right now. Some people that are already looking at, doing some orders on new 9660s that already have 9660s. So, that's going to be pretty cool too. So we'll be seeing some later model coaches come in here next year.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to seeing some of those come through here. Some incredible coaches out there. But can we take a closer look at this coach?
Absolutely. First bay here is going to be our normal bay where we have the drawers on top here, soft close, tool drawer here, same operation. We have the slide out tray. This is the equipment that we provide with the coach. You've got the manuals, you have extra paint, safety equipment as well. We build our own slide out trays so that we can have more height in the bay, so we make a lower profile. When we were talking about a little bit on the paint, this is an artistry series. It has the painted door handles, as you can see through here, plus a lot of different pinstripes. You can elaborate on that. You know quite a bit about how he does that.
They definitely went all out. You know,
Yep.
Dean Laux is a world-renowned artist, and there's a huge cost that goes into these paint jobs. And there's no question, when you roll into a resort, when you see a group of Liberty coaches, they really stand out. And Dean Laux, working with Liberty Coach, has just led the industry. And you see a lot of kind of other companies trying to kind of copy or imitate the designs a little bit, but this is kind of a totally new design like we've never ever seen.
The design, the colors, you know, it's away from the reds, the blues, you know, the whites and what have you. So it's a really cool combination.
Yes, sir.
Second bay here, again, drawers on top. Soft close, and this is doing the blackout series, which we had started on Coach 908. We have 2 full pass-through bays in the front, which is kind of unusual on the coaches. You don't typically see that. That's our standard arrangement. And then you've got the 65-inch pull-out TV. The mechanism that we do on that is built in-house, so it does a full swivel around and does have a lock, so you can lock it into different positions. So if it's windy outside, you don't have to worry about the TV moving around. It has a beautiful sounding sound bar at the bottom as well. This bay, a little bit different arrangement here. We have a beverage center here, wine or whatever you want to put in there, and then a separate ice maker unit that's here. Storage drawer on top, and then control center here. So this is a Crestron panel, so it will control all the different aspects inside and outside of the coach. Lighting we can turn on here as well. She also did a drape arrangement that comes down here also, so at night these two can be left open here with the bays, so you're not seeing the inside of the bay as far as that goes at night with the TV on.
Real nice entertainment area. And are we able to put out the large awnings from this panel out here?
Absolutely.
Can we run those out real quick?
Yep, sure can.
And then I also noticed the lighting below those zipped awnings. Is that standard in a Liberty coach?
Yes, it is. Yep.
And now, does this also have the awnings on the driver's side of the coach as well?
Right, so the identical package is going to be on both sides. So you'll have the 9-foot extension as well as full length of the coach as well.
And kind of what we refer to as the batwing awnings, and that's standard on all coaches?
Yes, all coaches.
All Liberty coaches.
Yep, absolutely.
And I want to point out, you know, how quietly these awnings are coming out right now. You know, we're standing here talking, but I can barely hear those motors working. It's just a very seamless design.
And these have shake sensors on them as well, so once they start bouncing because of wind or what have you, then it's going to bring them back in again. I am a big proponent of, if you leave the coach unattended, make sure you put the awnings back in. I don't care what kind of coach you have.
Yes, sir. No, I agree.
I mean, seriously,
and
anything can come up.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in South Dakota. I know you've been at Sturgis for a lot of years, and we've seen some crazy winds up there. Now, is Liberty Coach going to be having a rally at Sturgis again?
We're doing our normal event that we do, yes. In fact, the coach that Denise and I are living in with my stacker trailer just left out of here today. So it's heading up north. We go to our event in Petoskey, Michigan for next week first, and then after that we'll drive out to Spearfish, so we'll be out there.
That's quite a party. If any of you have ever had the chance to go to Sturgis, Frank and the Liberty Coach team have the coolest parties. They definitely know how to do Sturgis. How many years have you personally attended?
This will be my 30th year.
Yeah, you've got everything catered. I know you have relationships with all the local vendors, so everything is first class all the way. And you know, if any of you have ever thought about attending Sturgis as a Liberty Coach owner, I would definitely get on Frank's list to be a part of that crew, because that's an incredible experience.
This year should be a good year because it's the 85th anniversary of the event, so we're looking forward to a good crowd out there this year for sure. We ended up selling the spots out that we had, I think, almost last year at this time, or right after the event last year, so yeah.
So they want to attend in 2026, they need to buy their Liberty Coach now and get on the list right away?
Get on the list, right. Fourth bay here, we're going to have storage drawers here. Behind here is going to be the DEF tank. The DEF tank is filled on the driver's side. There's a locking door to be able to open that up, and fuel tank as well as the DEF tank on the other side. There's a locking door here to be able to fill the fuel here. This has 200 gallons of fuel. On 922, we were going through there. There was a hiccup on that because there was a thought that maybe the fuel tank capacity had dropped, but it did not. So we are still at the 200-gallon fuel capacity. As a matter of fact, there's going to be a little bit of a product change, if you will, that's going to be coming in the software update from Prevost, because they had done a modification there that had to do with seated buses that got done to here. So people think they don't have as much fuel as they do, but it actually does have 200 gallons.
Okay.
So, and that happened at some period during part of the production of the 9660. So that we do have 200 gallon of fuel here.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Here's the fifth bay back here is going to be the water bay or wet bay. We have tank monitoring here. You've got the fresh water tank, which is stainless steel, and then the holding tank is aluminum. We have the water pump here, the Mach 5 water pump, and then we have a 40-gallon stainless steel water heater that's electric. It's heated from the main engine, and it is also heated from the S-bar hot water heating system for the interior of the coach, and in the bays that heats that system as well. So we have three ways of heating the domestic hot water electrically from the S-bar and then from the main engine. We have the Culligan water treatment system here, the RO system, which goes to the refrigerator for the fresh water dispenser at the refrigerator, as well as the ice maker and the coffee maker as well. One thing that we miss sometimes, or I miss, is that this coach, and we have done it since, coach 823, so essentially 100 coaches ago, we've been doing a recirculation system on the hot water side. So whenever you go to a hot water tap in the coach or in the shower, you're going to have hot water immediately. So you're not wasting water waiting for the hot water to come to you. So there is a circulation pump that's in the system that does do that on a full return system. We have a tankless water heater that goes to the shower valve. That's a backup in case the water heater were to go down. You'd have the ability to heat the shower with the tankless system. Again, that's a backup that you would use should your water heater have an issue. And then you've got the filtration systems as well for the interior of the coach, or what water is coming out of the tank. We have the ability to fill fresh water on both sides on this coach and all Liberty coaches, as well as dump the holding tank on both sides. So that's been a standard feature on a Liberty coach for many, many years. Going back to the 99 that's here, it would have that as well. So there's a lot of features here that we've had for a number of years.
You're the only one I'm aware of in the industry using a stainless freshwater tank. I'm sure there's a pretty significant cost to that. And even the other coaches out there pushing on $3 million, a lot of them are still using plastic freshwater holding tanks. Is there a reason you're using stainless?
We've been using stainless for many, many years, mainly because of the fact of going back to warranty issues we used to have with plastic tanks. You know, if you go ahead and over tighten a fitting in the tank itself, it may take a year, 2 years or something like that for that crack to start to leak, and then you have some issues. Freshwater tank we build in-house, so we weld that in-house, baffles, everything we do with that interior of the tank as well. So we make sure that we're building it to the size that we need to fit around different parts of the framework so we can get the most capacity that we can. We get about 170-ish, 175 gallons between that and the holding tank as well.
So huge holding tanks as well. And I can imagine having the lifetime workmanship warranty to the original owner. You're making sure to build these coaches so you're not having to pay for it on the back end.
Exactly.
You're the only one I know with that lifetime workmanship warranty. What all does that include?
The lifetime workmanship warranty is done to the first owner, or the owner of a brand new coach. So for an example, the fresh water tank, stainless steel, if it was to happen to leak and it's 5-10 years down the road, we would go ahead and repair that or replace it, no charge to the original owner of the coach, because that would fall under the lifetime workmanship warranty because we built it. If there's a situation of something that we installed in the coach and our installation process caused a problem, then that would be something that we would consider warrantable as well.
I think a lot of Liberty coach owners, get a new Liberty every few years just because they're not worrying about warranty stuff. And even if they have the coach for 4 or 5 years, they're not worrying about that. And I think that helps keep people in the family for
Absolutely, for sure. This coach, as you can see, has got the blackout wheels that were painted by the Art of Design as well. So these just got changed off here when the coach arrived. This coach actually just arrived over this past weekend. So we've been getting right after it as far as that goes. So it's going to get ready for delivery next week. This coach has a pressure washer in it as well. The pressure washer here is located in the right rear engine compartment area. In the first bay on the driver's side, we're going to see the deionizing tank system as far as being able to have DI water for washing the coach that comes out of the tank, goes through those filtration systems. As you know, being in the detail business, that's going to give you as close to spot free as you can when you wash the coach, for sure.
Very important on a dark colored coach like this.
For sure. We have a macerator on the coach for the holding tank, so you can pump the holding tank out through the macerator pump. That would come out through this garden hose fitting here. We have a 30 amp 220 outlet here. This comes off the generator or shore power. This is how you power up your trailer if you had one, and that would be only if you're sitting still, not as you're going down the road. And then we have the ability to plug the coach in on shore power from here as well. We have a 75-foot cord reel for the shore cord. If something goes up with that, then at least you have the ability to plug the coach up if need be through there. Tail lights on the coach are the tinted tail lights. We have our Liberty Coach feature back here with the stainless treatment. The 9660, you can see, has more of a spoiler effect to it on the back. We talk about that each time we go through one of these coaches. That keeps the back end of the coach cleaner. Also helps with the fuel economy. My brother Kurt designed the rear cap and the front cap, the front end and the dash for the 9660. That took a little over 2 years. What he did as far as the rear cap, adding that, we have a chimney built into that for the stack for the exhaust that goes through there. So it's just not looking at a stainless steel stack on the back like you'd see on other Prevost conversions out there, so it's all completely enclosed. And then this also enhances the fuel economy of the coach as well, that Prevost was trying to achieve, or did achieve, with the 9660 chassis.
And are you hearing a lot of feedback on the fuel economy on the new 9660s now that you're getting some miles out there?
Oh yeah, we're hearing people are traveling further to the next fuel stop than they used to. Probably going to be hearing averages in the high 7s, low 8s. When they're towing a trailer, we're probably hearing in the 6s from when we used to be in the low 5s, mid 5s. We're hearing in the 6s as far as that goes, so that's pretty good. Same engine that we've had is the Volvo D13, 500 horse, 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. We have the stainless steel belt guard here that we manufacture. And then this has the two 10 kW Volta 58 volt alternators on here, as well as the driver's air conditioning system from Prevost, which cools and heats the driver's cockpit and right behind the driver and passenger as well. And this also has the air belt tightening system that tightens this section of the alternators and the AC compressor drive to keep that at a constant tension all the time. And then you also have spring tensioners through here to keep the belts at a certain tension. This goes back to the serviceability on the Prevost chassis. They have millions of miles, obviously, that are done probably per year on their chassis. They just finished celebrating their 100th anniversary last year. So you look at all of those miles and all of that service and the building and everything that they've done. We have a piece of equipment here that is really time proven and is far and away better as far as a chassis than anything else built in the country or in the world, actually.
Yes, sir. And I know Volvo, the parent company of Prevost, also does a lot in the trucking industry. So this Volvo D13 motor is also being used in several semi-trucks throughout the world.
Right. There's no reason, if you go to the factory and see how these engines are put together and the testing that they do on them, there's no reason to think that this is not a million-mile motor. I mean, really, at the end of the day. It is a great engine. We've had great success with it, probably more success moving from the Detroit back in 2012 to this than we had going from different variations of Detroit engines. This has been really good for us, for the entire industry.
Yes, sir, and I know Volvo has always put safety as their number one priority. I remember in the automotive industry in the 80s, remembering that Volvos were known as the safest vehicles out there. Did you ever notice a difference in, safety enhancements when Volvo became the parent company of Prevost?
There was some changes that they had made, that they had brought from their Volvo over-the-road coaches that they were building in Europe, and had some here in the States that they brought to this. So we see that in the enhancements with the driver assist packages that we have, with the collision alerts, with the adaptive cruise control, lane departure, those type of features that we see in the coach that have come along with the complete changeover from Prevost to being totally Volvo owned, if you will.
Yeah, I know Volvo's always pushing safety, so I would imagine they're implementing that in this coach as well.
Exactly. Coming down the driver's side of the coach, one of the features that we have on both sides. This is one of the radars for the blind spot detection system, which we've had in place since our 2021 model year coaches. So there's 3 sensors that are located along the side of the coach, one toward the front, one in the mid, one in the back on both sides. And then you have indicators on the A-pillar of the windshield post on the driver, and then the center pillar that indicates if a vehicle or something is about a lane width from the coach on either side, and also gets indication about 20 feet behind the coach as well. So it'll kind of pick up your tow car or your trailer as well, so you'll know when something's coming up there so that you can get on the cameras. We also have, which we can talk about inside too, the bird's eye view camera system, which we started implementing years ago before anybody else did. One of the cameras we point out is located almost directly above the fuel fill here, so you can utilize that when you're pulling up to a fuel island to know, where you're positioned properly. You can bring that up and see that on the display on the dash as well. So that's a good aid and a good feature too.
Yes, sir.
5th bay driver's side, stainless steel fresh water tank here. It's polished, and then we have a stainless steel panel that goes over the aluminum holding tank. We've got our gray water bypass here, which is all done in the polished copper. You'll see that back on that 99 that's here as well.
Yes, sir.
You'll see that. We also have the dump valve that's located here, dump for the holding tank. Again, we have it on both sides of the coach. We have the 100-foot hose reel here, and then we have a washout hand sprayer unit, which is utilized for cleaning out the sewer hoses, which are stored up in this area here. Again, we have tank monitoring on both sides. We have the ability to fill fresh water, again with the hose reel. We have the buttons to be able to turn that equipment on. We also have the ability to wash out the holding tank from here as well. So you can hit one button here and utilize that to wash out the holding tank occasionally, which is a good idea. We have heat on both sides of this bay. We can get into some pretty dramatic cold temperatures with this coach and be able to survive it based upon where and how we do our plumbing. So all the plumbing is done in this 5th bay. This is all heated, and everything goes up inside the coach, so everything's all in a heated medium throughout. Here on the 4th bay, this was kind of a little different. We have storage bins here, and then we have a closet arrangement here as well, which can be done with storage bins. There's a closet rod in there too. So that has a dual purpose capability there.
Yeah, and a really nice texture here with that door. Very high quality material. Is that built in-house, or what kind of a material is that?
It's the same material that we have on the drawers and on the cabinets on the other side as well. So it's a laminate veneer that goes on there, and it has proven over the last it's been about a year in outside conditions that it stays real stable, so we've been pretty happy with it. 3rd bay driver's side here, we've got the generator compartment. We manufacture this cover and the enclosure for it in-house. We've got a 12.5 kW Onan unit here that's in its own sound box, and then we have our own sound shield around that as well. So you've got a pretty quiet installation here. We are able to utilize the 12.5 kW based upon the amount of battery that we utilize with the lithium-ion battery packs from Volta. So we do 2 of those large battery packs from them, so we can downsize a generator, run more off the battery. So we have quite a few customers, and you've heard them say that as well, that they don't even know why they have a generator because they're using the battery so much.
Yes, sir. You've been using this lithium technology now for over a decade, well over a decade. Yeah. How many coaches have you used lithium in?
The first one was Coach 718. So we've been out there with it for quite a long time. We're in it first with the Master Volt system, and then we changed over to the Volta system in 2017 model year. So we started that in 2016. So we've got quite a few underneath our belt as far as that goes. We've been pretty happy with how the outcome of it's been, how they performed, as well as the amount of time that you can stay on dry camping conditions or just overnight conditions, when you're parked somewhere without having to run the generator. I mean, it's worked out great. With one AC running and the typical equipment that you'd be utilizing the coach, you can probably go 15 hours, depending on the outside temperature. If you've got 2 ACs running, you're going to cut that in half, so you're probably looking at about 7 to 8 hours as far as that goes. And that's before the generator is going to kick on. So you haven't killed the battery at that point. You're still at about 25% of charge when the generator comes on to charge that. So when you're driving down the road, if you were to start the main engine at that point and head down the highway, because of the 2 large alternators that we have, you'd be able to charge that back in about 2.5 hours. So it's quick.
Yes, sir. You've mentioned in the past that you monitor your owner's coaches out there. You're able to get a notification sent to Liberty Coach. if that battery bank is getting low.
Right.
Is that technology in this coach?
Oh yeah, been on every coach we've done with that system. So with the Volta system, we've had the notifications. So I get those, they hit our service office at libertycoach.com email address. So as soon as we get those, we're alerted that coach so-and-so is getting low on the battery system, or it's lost its shore power, or something's happened. The generator may have had its output breaker trip, and we'll get that notification also. So then we'll go ahead and try and get a hold of the customer right away, let them know that's happened. They may already know because they'll get that notification typically as well. So then we can start to aid them into, hey, let's get the shore power back on, or we need to start the generator, or we need to do something here before the coach shuts down. If the coach does shut down on the system, it's not that terrible. It's easy enough to come back and turn the system back on again. This particular unit has Volta's new Flex system, which the touch panel here is basically going to come alive, and you'll just hit the button on the face of the touch panel to turn the system back on again. And once that happens, because we still have energy in the system, everything comes back up with a nice clean reboot. So nothing's sitting there trying to come back on and then clicking off and then on and off like you would see if a flashlight battery went down, right? You get a little bit of energy left, you turn the light back on and the light goes right back off. This doesn't have that happen. So everything starts to reboot, and then the chargers come back on, or you start the main engine and everything's coming back to life at a nice clean reboot, if you will.
Yes, sir, and I understand all lithium systems are not created equally, so there's
Right.
other systems out there that are definitely not this same level.
Correct.
That aren't going to be as clean of a
Exactly.
process.
So like even on this, you know, if you need to, something happens, you've got to shut the coach down for an extended period of time. If the system's at 100% state of charge, you can come in here and just shut the system off, and then 60 days later come back and hit it and turn it back on, and you're going to be ready to roll. So you're not having to worry about the system being depleted out in that period of time.
It was not
sweet.
always like that.
No.
I think 20 years ago, the operators of the coach had to have a little more thought put into
Exactly,
it.
exactly. So this is our electrical architecture here in the second bay driver's side. We have our generator watchdog, which is what controls the generator for start, stop, and for the auto start for when the batteries get low. We have a switch watchdog here as well that monitors the shore power coming into the coach, and that's what the brain is to operate this transfer switch box here between generator power, shore power, and inverter power. We have 5,000 watt inverters. There's 3 of them on board this coach. One of those inverters' purpose is only to operate all the sensitive electronics. So your Crestron system, your refrigerator, your TVs, all of the Apple TVs, the data like Starlink and your cellular data systems, those are all on that inverter system as well, which stays live all the time. As long as the battery bank's on, that's live. It never sees a power transition, so it never sees a hiccup in that world. The other 2 inverters that are in there are going to be running your air conditioning, your oven. This has got a 220 oven. Both of those units can be piggybacked to be able to run 220 equipment in the coach as well. So there's quite a bit of power that we have here to be able to run 110 or high voltage AC equipment off the battery banks.
Yes, sir, and I've got to compliment just how clean, when we look closely, if we can get a close-up of, the way the wiring is done, and just these boxes and the breaker panels here, the refinement and the craftsmanship in every square inch of these Liberty coaches is just always impressive.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of like looking in somebody's closet, if everything's thrown in there, you kind of know that, things aren't going to be going so well. If
Yes,
things
sir.
are a little neater when you look in there, you've got a better world there.
And some other motorhomes, when you start tearing them apart, it'll start to tell a little bit of a story
exactly,
there. So.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
First bay here on the driver's side, we've got the DI tanks that I was mentioning before for the pressure washer system that's in the back of the coach. Roll-out tray here. We've got the awning chairs. They're mounted on the first and second bay doors on the driver and passenger side, so you have 4 of those. Amplification for the driver stereo system, so we got a great sounding system there. This bay then is also heated both from the SBAR hot water heating system and electric because we have these tanks here. Our typical first bay would not be heated, but because we have this here, we have heat in this bay as well. And then the 9660 change was in the front end. It's more sloped here going up and down. It's a little bit rounder in the front end as well. This service door, from being just a half door on the classic coach, now is a larger door here. This happens to have the leveling system, so that's what we heard there. So it's keeping the level of the coach. We've got the washer fluid. We've got our outlet for the auxiliary air system, so you can get up to 120 pounds of air pressure out of here when the engine's running, or when our system's on, you'll probably get about 90 pounds out of there, pumping up car tires, bicycle tires, that type of thing. Probably not going to pump up the tire on the coach because there's not enough volume. In here then is going to be Prevost electrical service bay for the front of the coach. Back in the rear on the passenger side tag axle bay is where the chassis batteries are, and their rear junction panel is back there.
I'm noticing these marker lights, are they a little more smoked out?
Yeah, they're smoked out. That was an option with Dean as well, so they handle that.
Nice.
There. And then we've got the placard here as far as paint, so you know where the paint colors are, and if anybody needs to work on it, which typically we always recommend that Dean's shop takes care of any little dings that might come up in the coach on the outside for sure.
Well, and nobody's going to do the level of work that Dean in the art of design is. They've led the world. They've led the marine industry, the aviation industry, and everyone out there agrees. Dean is the Michael Jordan of the art on a large scale.
For sure. Nice little toll window here, so you got a little bit bigger window than we used to have. Front end of the coach, the nice LED feature here. Goes along with our new Liberty Coach plaque that is backlighted as well. The front bumper is a one piece that drops down, but it's done in 3 separate parts, so in case something were to happen, you don't have to replace the whole bumper, you can just replace the part that's damaged. And then we have the frunk, is what they call it at Prevost, which is this door that opens to be able to get to the windshield wiper motors and also to the driver's air conditioning and heat system to clean the filters. It's a lot better, easier access as far as that goes. Our windshield wipers are a lot bigger now. Our windshields are taller than we used to have before. This coach also has the standard mirrors as well as the e-mirrors. So all of our coaches have both. This mirror, if a customer wants, they could take off at some point in time if they so desire, and there's a cap that can go in its place if they want to do that. So driving the coach down the road, I've got quite a few miles on the 9660, and the e-mirrors are pretty sweet. We've got the displays on the center pillar as well as the driver's A-pillar here, so when you're looking out, straight ahead of you, you can see everything around you. It's very, very nice.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of positive feedback on the e-mirrors, and I've got to compliment, as we're standing at the front of this coach, I could see a piece of artwork kind of popping out at me from the window. That is just incredible. What's going on in there?
Yeah, that was a special piece that was done for the client with her designer. That actually came from France, so we had to build that whole section around that, so that was pretty cool looking.
Well, that's definitely drawing me inside here. I see some stuff unlike anything we've ever seen in other Liberty coaches. Do you think we could take a look at the interior?
Absolutely, let's go.
This interior is much more bold and edgy than we usually see, but they just knocked it out of the park the way it comes together.
They did. Client had their own specific idea for what they wanted to do with the couch, so this couch was custom made by another supplier. So this was all done and then engineered by Kurt as well, working with the company, so that this would go into our requirements for the slide room on the driver's side of the coach. So this all came together when people started talking about the color was going to be orange. Everybody's going, really?
If you would have told me that this was going to be the color in this coach and I didn't see it, it wouldn't make sense. But the way it ties together with this kind of wood block table, something totally different as well.
Live wood table.
So that's a real, that's the real deal there. And then also this recliner up here, the way it ties everything together, just incredible design.
Yeah, they did. They did a great job all the way around. It really came together well. And the client actually came and saw it when it came in, and she just came up and blew up on the phone how excited she was about it. So it really came together well.
Well, I can imagine when you're taking, a world-class designer like your sister-in-law, Kim Koenigsetter, and then her working with some other world-class designers, obviously, they just really nailed it with this one.
They really did. It's really sweet. Really came out well. We've got the bath and a half. This is going to be with the extended galley. So we've got the single chair and the cabinet up here in the front. We have the L-shaped booth that we've been doing a little bit more of here recently. So this booth is made by Liberty Coach. So we handcraft this and do all the upholstery work in-house at the shop. As you mentioned, table, this is a live wood tabletop, so this was done custom as well, and swivel, and this table does move in and out. Handles were opted to be removed here. We do have the soft close doors and the soft close drawers on this coach as well. The floor is a little bit different, so it's not your typical planked, if you will, floor. The color was specific to what the client wanted, and being the square design as opposed to being, the plank design. This feature here on the wall, this, like we said, this came in from Europe, so that was really cool, waiting to see how that was going to turn out and how it looked when it was all done. And the bathroom design is a little different. We've done this a couple of times where this wall has been straightened out, which gives a little bit larger vanity in the bathroom as well. So a lot of things have been incorporated in this coach that we have been doing this in one coach and this in another coach. So a lot of things were put together in this particular unit. So it's really well thought out.
Yes, sir. This is a triple slide, but we still have a lot of room in the salon.
Yep.
And then we gain all that extra under patio space and
Correct.
easy access to the bays up front. But you could comfortably seat, I could see probably 7 or 8 people comfortably sitting in this coach easily. The material that was used for the back there, that looks like maybe like a stingray.
It's a stingray embossed leather.
Okay.
And then the leather on the seat cushions here as well.
Yeah, really creative the way the designers were able to take all of these different materials that just tie together so well. Beautiful coach. Now, before we go through the coach, the cockpit really caught my eye. These seats up here, this is kind of a newer style stitching with the double stitch.
Yep.
And then this has that stingray feel.
A little bit to it as well. And on the dash bonnet cover here in the top of the dash also, we've got the big 12-inch iPad Pro unit here. This Pioneer unit's been changed a little bit here. It's a little bit bigger than our previous versions that we have. The 9660 has push-button start, so it's very similar to how the cars are today with a key fob. This whole arrangement here, as far as you see the dash, how everything's laid out, how everything's put together here, this is all a change from the standard dash that's here. This is part of what my brother Kurt did. He did all the design work for this, for the entire dash and cockpit arrangement, the entry door as well. And again, I had mentioned the front and rear caps and then the front end treatment also. Leveling system is here, the valid leveling system. Prevost changed on the 9660 on the air valves for the suspension to have 2 up in the front, left and right front, and left and right rear. The Classic series previously just had a front valve singular and then the 2 in the rear. So we have more flexibility on the leveling of the coach. These are the displays here for your e-mirrors. So they do give us a great vision as far as the split camera for blind spot and for normal vision. And then when you have the turn signals on or you're backing up, there's lines that come up that give you where the back of the coach is. Also where it's safe to pass when you move back in again to your lane, or where it's a good idea to start your turn. So it's great for all viewing of all different types of climates. I've been in rain in the middle of the night, and you have great vision and being able to get great depth perception as well. And then you still have the standard mirrors that we have on the coach also. The air conditioning system, the driver's air conditioning on the 9660 was changed to have ventilation that comes out toward the driver's head area, as opposed to just being on the lower section that we had previously. This coach also has a center pillar monitor located here, so you can see what's behind you without having to do it on the iPad here, or you can do both either way. You can bring up the 360 camera system. You can bring up the backup camera. We also have a hitch view camera so that you can look right down on the ball of your hitch to see everything's safe there, or when you're by yourself backing up to a trailer or hooking something up, you can have a great view as far as that goes. All the switches here are in great locations to be able to get to everything easy enough. The steering wheel changed as far as how it actuates up and down to a lever as opposed to the air that we had previously on the Classic unit. We've got the clamping device here for your cell phone, and it's a charger base, so we can AirPlay or with the Android CarPlay over to the Pioneer system here, so we can do the mapping on that and not have to deal with it totally on the iPad unit. So you have a lot of flexibility. Steering wheel, got a lot of different controls here through the dash monitoring. We have the ability to control the output retarder, which is on the transmission here. The windshield wipers with the new synchronous motors. We have more levels of intermittent speed and different speeds, as well as just a mist. That's improvement also, and turn signal and flash as far as that goes. So There's some nice new features that are in here. The parking brake has been moved to be right here in the front as opposed to being here, which occasionally, depending on the weight of the pet, sometimes would release the brake.
Yes, sir.
Unbeknownst to anybody, so that's hard to do over here now. But the cockpit arrangement here is really sweet. We've got red LEDs that are in here that can be utilized at night if you're looking for something without upsetting your vision in the windows as well.
So we talked about the orange stitching on the steering wheel.
Yep.
That really tied in together
Yep.
with the interior design.
Exactly.
This whole
Exactly.
coach just really flows together.
It does very, very well. So in the galley area here, this is not a full brass, not a full gold color as far as on the faucet here, so it ties in nice to the stainless sink. This jar of coffee maker was a specific request by the customer as well, so this unit's pretty sweet looking for sure. I've never used it, but I think it's pretty sweet.
Yes, sir.
We also have an inductive cooktop, a Wolf unit, and then we have the Mealy microwave oven, which is a convection unit as well. There's quite a bit of drawer storage space, you know, in the coach here. Lots of drawers, lots of storage here, as well as on the bottom, underneath the kitchen, the sink area. We do use a different liner on the base of the cabinets depending on where it's located. So a lot of times cleaning fluids and stuff like that are utilized down there. So we use that type of material because it's easier to clean if it were to spill there. Trash can located here. Area to be able to store additional bags if you want to as well. This darker material, we haven't seen that in a coach in quite a while, so you lose the refrigerator right here, right, with these type of handles as well that are on here. We've got a great pantry here, nice pull-out set up here. We've got storage underneath the dinette booth as well, and then, you know, getting into the bathroom here, you know, it's a showpiece by itself.
Yeah, literally just incredible designs here. This texture on the wall here, they pulled out all the stops on this one, no doubt. And you mentioned the darker cabinets, and a lot of times some of the older coaches we see with darker cabinets, it feels like you're in a cave.
Right.
But even with the darker finishes, it's just very bright inside of this coach. And this is the newer lighting that just came out a few coaches ago, I believe.
Right. We started this as a showpiece on 915. So this ceiling system is an option on the coach as the customers are building the coach. So as in production or when we're speccing it out, we doing this style ceiling and the ceilings that we did traditionally. So this is what we call the contemporary linear LED paneled ceiling. So these are LED strips that are here that are dimmable as well. So all of the lighting tied together, the correct color, the correct temperature, to make sure that it is bringing out the correct colors throughout the coach.
It even brings out the texture on the cabinet doors. I'm not going to touch them, but it looks like it feels like there's a texture there.
There is texture to it. It's like an open grain material.
Yes, sir.
Same on the dinette overhead as well. And then they opted, I think I mentioned before, to take the handles off of those as well.
Yeah, nice clean look for sure. Can we section off the rear of the coach as well?
We can.
So you have guests staying here, you can have your rear suite private now.
Private, right, exactly.
And then you mentioned the newer shape of the Jack and Jill doors here to keep a wider entryway. And I've got to compliment these Liberty Coach doors, just so robust, and then kind of a different pattern as well. The way that all lines up, but you could see that texture within the pattern.
Right.
A lot of thought went into that door for sure.
It's all hand done, yep, exactly.
And then, you know, when you close it, it's like being in a high-end home.
So here we've got the washer and dryer unit, the Bosch unit, separate units here. And then we've gotten into the bedroom, the super suite. This mattress system is custom as well. So these are two separate units here for the king size bed, and they also do go raise up and down, and it's all built into the mattress system itself. So this is a little new system for us as well on this, and it looks like it's going to be something as an upgrade to people if they want to do that.
And these accent walls here just really draw my eye in, but it seems like we've got quite a bit of storage and quite a bit of closet space here in this coach.
We do. We've got this closet that's here. So you've got closet with shoe storage in the back because we've got so much depth. You got great depth here on this drawer, and that's going to be the same over here on this forward side. This is part of the Dyson stick vacuum that's in this coach as well. We've got closet here and the rest of the Dyson unit. We've got drawer space here. Typically we have more drawers in here, but client wanted to have a taller closet for dresses as far as that goes, so we've got that. And then we've got a closet here in the forward part of the slide room. So we've got mirrors on both of those doors, so you have the ability to see everything viewing when getting dressed. Nice hamper here at the bottom as well.
And then we see these are painted to match the cabinets, but this reinforcement here that just really helps these coaches hold up over time.
Oh, sure. I mean, you can go back to coaches from years ago, and that all comes from, learning from using the coaches and being part and being a builder as well, is that the door stiffeners that we have on here keep the door straight. Because over a period of time with mirrors and different surfaces that are applied to the doors, you can get the doors could begin to bow or creep in one way or another. This is going to keep that from happening over time.
You're definitely thinking ahead.
And we have on the passenger side here the drawers, dresser area. So we got some nice deep drawers that are here, and then above storage on the other side of the TV. All the cabinets are lighted. It's easy to get and see what's inside your cabinets.
The indirect lighting as well, below the cabinets, below the countertop here, around the bed, and even the materials used around the bed here, just over the top design.
Oh, there's a lot of features, a lot of different textures for sure throughout. We point out the lighting that we do in here that we don't have to, but this actually, the design capabilities that we have here. These sconces were custom made as well for this particular unit. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that's pretty special. These countertops, you look at the colors on them, the color brings out the other colors that we see in the coach as well. So everything's been tied together really well.
Even down to the decor pieces, just an incredible design.
Very much so. We have the lights on the mirror there. I don't know if we want to turn those on or if that's too bright for the camera.
Extremely bright lights. You also turned on the lights in the shower. That really brightened it up as well.
Exactly.
Is that a new lighting design?
Yeah, it's the same that we did with this ceiling treatment. So we've got the lighting in there as well. In there, the area for the shampoos, that caddy area there, that niche is larger on this particular unit as well. Again, specified by the client. So there's a lot of things that are tying everything together here. We've got the recessed niche in the back on this unit too, which we saw on 915 and a couple other units we've done. This has got the bidet toilet lid on the seat arrangement here on the aft toilet. The vanity in the back here, we've got a lot of storage back in here as well. You've got some great storage here above. And on either side there's storage, and all of our electronics is done back here, so it's easy access as far as being able to maintain. Large shower here, towel hooks here as opposed to a bar, so you can have more towels hooked up in here. This tower arrangement here that we have for the shower valve is a little different, the way the mosaics are done on this. So there's a lot of different things that are happening in here that tie this all together.
Well, you mentioned the towel hooks here, but then the towels that match the design even. So even custom towels come with the coach?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, and is that done by your sister-in-law in-house?
Yep.
Yeah, we've seen a few different bidet toilets in different motorhomes, but this looks like a over-the-top high-end bidet in this one.
No expense was spared for sure.
Yes, sir. And then even the Airphone camera, doorbell camera, so if someone rings the doorbell, their image will show up back here.
Exactly. So you can see who's there. You can talk to them as well. We can also intercom on the iPads around the coach also. So we've got intercom system built in there as well. So great layout, great way that all the colors and the features and the design elements and the different effects came together on this. I think this was really special.
This is an incredible spec. I see Liberty Coach owners always pushing the bar. Now, if someone wants to try to outdo this owner and custom build a new Liberty Coach, what's the best way to get that process started?
Well, get hold of us here, coach sales at libertycoach.com, or call in 800-554-9877. Get a hold of one of the sales guys. We have coaches that are going to be available to build that are going to get into the fall of next year at this point. So we've got some sales that we've got for 2027 model year units that'll be delivered in 26. Then we also have some great pre-owned inventory as well. And once again, we go to the website, libertycoach.com, click on one of those units. That'll get to me. We'll get it distributed out to the right people, and we can start your journey.
Yeah, some incredible pre-owned units that have recently come in. And I know there's one special 2015 with a matching painted stacker trailer.
Right.
If someone's looking to come hang out with you guys at Sturgis and do it the right way, that'd be a great opportunity.
And you can see that unit on the Motorhome Exchange website. So we've got units that are there that are going to be outside of 10 years production of Liberty Coach or non-Liberty Coach units. So we've got, quite a variety of units available.
Awesome. Well, Frank, thank you for your time, sir. Greatly appreciate
You
it.
bet. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. And also greatly appreciate all of you out there subscribing and liking. We hope you're all having a great day.
Thanks.